Summary question. Let's read the summary. Let's identify the main points, and then we will look at the options. What is a game? Ludwig Wittgenstein famously chose this nebulous concept to illustrate what he meant by family resemblance, where the individual members of a class can be determined to fulfill no necessary and sufficient conditions for admission, instead only share some traits with some others in the class, others with others. Alright, what's a game? He says Wittgenstein famously chose to illustrate the concept of the game by what he meant by family resemblance. So he brought in that the game is similar to family resemblance, where the individual members of a class don't have to fulfill many conditions. They just have to share some traits with others. So a game is similar to family resemblance. Yet we can identify at least two types of games. Then the author says, so this is the first one, game and family resemblance, 1 point, as given by Ludwig Wittgenstein. The second one, he says, is there are two types of games, which seem not just distinct from one another, but very nearly opposite. Despite this family resemblance concept, there are two types of games, and they are not just different from each other, they are almost opposite to each other. So next we'll learn what are the two types of games. One class of games, which includes peekaboo, charades, and musical improvisation as representative instances. For example, these games is characterized by free expressivity. So you have one class of games, he's given examples of them, is characterized by free expressivity. It is the manifestation of what Friedrich Schiller called Spintrieb, the splay drive, which is innate in all human beings insofar as they are free. So it's characterized by free expressivity. It's innate to all human beings because we are free. The other game includes games like chess, fencing, war games. If there is still some dose of freedom operating in this sort of games, it is freedom under severe constraints. So one is free expressivity, the other works under severe constraints. Even if you have freedom, it is freedom under severe constraints. The purpose of the second kind of game is to win, and one does so by means of strategy, done before. Aforethought means done before. So you try to win these games with predetermined, pre-planned strategies. And the objective here is to win. One is free expressivity. The other game is freedom under severe constraints, a game which is where the purpose is to win and where there is strategy. Got it? Okay. So our main point should have these three. Family resemblance, Wittgenstein, two different types of games, free expressivity and freedom under severe constraints, strategy games, strategy and planning games like chess and all that. All right. There are two types of games that are the opposite of each other. One that involves free expressivity and one where the purpose is to win using strategy. True, but this is an incomplete summary because it didn't tell the family resemblance point introduced by Wittgenstein. So is there a better one? The two types of games, one marked by free expressivity and the other marked by the use of strategy to win, defy the idea of family resemblance. Do they defy the idea of family resemblance? No. Family resemblance was given by Wittgenstein to explain the nebulous, means vague concept of game, but that doesn't mean that these two types of games defy that. So A is incorrect. A is partially correct, but doesn't include one main point. Even within a particular category, distinct and opposite subcategories can coexist, as exemplified by the two classes of games, one governed by play drive and other by strategy. Now here, what has he done? The subject of the passage is family resemblance to explain the concept of games and two different types of games, almost opposite of each other. Here what he has done is he has talked about He has generalized the whole thing and said exemplified even within a category of what? Game. There are subcategories. Has the author mentioned anything about subcategories? What is he talking about? So C is one vague summary which just has the word 2 classes of games. This part, an ambiguous introduction followed by something taken from the summary, from the passage paragraph. So it cannot be my summary. It has to be the last. But let's see how D is the correct one. What are the points? Has it mentioned the points that you and I discussed as the points that have to be mentioned in the summary? Even though the concept of game has been used to exemplify family resemblance, 2 opposite classes of game can be seen, one marked by free expressivity and the other marked by using free strategy with the aim to win. You can't get a better express summary than this. Therefore, the answer is D.